I always knew that I wanted to be in the medical field. Actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And then just being around sports and playing 3 sports growing up, I just kind of naturally gravitated towards the medical side. And I had a really good athletic trainer in high school, had a lot of like little nagging injuries, and spent some time with him. And there was this really cool athletic training camp in the summer. It was like 3 or 4 days in Northern Illinois. And I went there and just knew that that's what I wanted to do.
I actually started off not in athletic training. Well, the majority of my undergrad was in physical therapy. So I was in my Physics 2 electric conductivity and magnetism class, and I was like, what does this have to do with anything I want to do? So I stopped paying attention, started writing things down, and athletic training was on the list, and yeah, that's how I got into it.
I mean, it's pretty fast, but kind of the interesting thing about, practicing, we always practice emergency situations before the season starts, and you kind of just get into a flow. Like you're observing everything, you're seeing, how long does it take a person to get up? You're replaying what happened in your head, trying to figure out what it is. As you walk out there, you're still thinking, you're watching them as you get out there.
A lot of them don't want to say anything because they're, in their mindset of a game, and they're trying to, stay focused on the game. So sometimes we have to bring that out of them. And we do quick evals, and so it can move super quick.
The NHL has been around for over a century, but you became just the 3rd woman in league history to be behind a bench in an athletic training position. What does that mean to you?
Being the 3rd female behind the bench in the NHL, with all 3 of them being athletic trainers, is a really incredible experience. It was obviously very situational with the COVID season and everything that kind of led up to that. But it's incredible. I mean, you look now and there's like maybe 1 female athletic trainer in the NHL right now. So for me to kind of have the goal to be in the NHL, just even to get a game is a lifetime experience. I might never get the shot. A lot of people won't ever get the shot, but I really don't have words to describe it. It was really cool. And to share it with Michael too, somebody that I was comfortable working with, and having former Amerks players playing up the Sabres at that time. Like I just remember, they would come up to me, and every time they'd walk by, they'd be like, congratulations, they give me a little fist bump. And it's something that is not commonplace now, but I think in the future it will be. There will be more women. It won't be something that we have to talk about, but I'm definitely very, very blessed to be the 3rd person.
It was pretty cool. Like my situation was different than Ked's. I knew I was going up. It wasn't a last minute thing. So there was a personal reason for somebody on the medical staff up there that I needed to go up. So I had a little bit more of an advance on that. So it was cool, kind of I was excited for the opportunity. One, obviously it's the National Hockey League. And it was cool for like my family to see, cool for my community to see. But it was cool for me to see, is this something that I maybe want to do in the future?
So I found out I was getting called up. Michael was already on the trip. And so he was out with the Sabres out west. And so it was me and Snacky covering our 2 games at home over the weekend. And Michael reached out to me and said, hey, if there's some COVID issues, so you might have to come out tomorrow with some of the players. And he's like, it's kind of, we'll see how the results come back and everything. And so we had our game, finished the game. At the end of the game, he calls me. He's like, hey, you're coming out tomorrow. You and like 7 players are gonna fly out. And so game was over, went home, packed, flew out at 7 o'clock out of Rochester, flew to Chicago, landed in Colorado at like 1:30 for a 7 o'clock game, straight to the hotel. I dropped the guys off, went, packed up some lunch, turned around, went straight to the rink, and then we were there. It was pretty fast. Hop on a plane, go straight to the rink, game, and then yeah, we were there. Like I said, Michael and I worked the bench, and then flew. The next game was in Vegas, so then we hopped on the plane, went to Vegas, and that was it. National Athletic Training Month is fun because we just kind of push all the information about athletic training. What athletic trainers do. It's not just taping ankles and filling up water bottles. Like there's a lot more that goes into it. Whether it's rehab, administrative work, helping decipher doc speak to players. To me, it's really about like awareness at like the high school level. Even the college levels, they have a little bit more resources, but the people
that are working at the high school level that are seeing a ton of patients, athletes, and really they're in the trenches. It's all about awareness of what's happening, again, specifically at the high school level, and them getting a little bit of notoriety, because pay isn't always the best, and the hours are just as long there as they are here. That's what it's about for me.